Hey everybody, Jim here, and today I'm in Akihabara. It's a nice spring day, and we're here to look at some arcades. We're here to go to what used to be SEGA arcades. Akihabara used to be crawling with SEGA arcades. Now there's not a single SEGA arcade left in town. They've all been replaced by GIGO arcades. Apparently SEGA sold all of their game center assets to a company called GIGO, and that's basically all they do is operate game centers. So all of the SEGA branding has been taken off of the buildings and replaced with GIGO, which, if you ask me, is not really like a great replacement. Those big beautiful SEGA logos have now been replaced with GIGO logos, which, if you ask me, I mean, they look like they'd be just fine on like the outside of a pharmacy or something. Whatever. So yeah, from now, if you come to visit Akihabara, you'll never get to play in a SEGA arcade, but basically they kept all of the games that were initially in these arcades. So even though there's no SEGA branding, there's still all the stuff that used to be in there anyway. So it's basically the exact same arcade, just with a different logo on the outside. So we're gonna start with now GIGO Building number 1. We're just gonna go and take a look at my favorite floor. So in this arcade, basically the first 4 floors, it's nothing but crane games, UFO catchers, that kind of thing, which I'm not particularly interested in. Next floor above that, they have like online card games, which again, I'm not a TCG kind of guy. Not much of interest on that floor for me. And the top floor has basically been turned into like a big shrine for Gundam. It's just online Gundam games and other various stuff up there. Again, pretty cool, but not games that I'm actually like into playing. But there is some pretty cool stuff, I believe, on the 6th floor. So let's head up there and check that out. Okay, so up on the 6th floor of GIGO Building number 1, basically the only floor that I come to because, one, it has a bunch of Tekken 7 cabinets, which I love. Tekken is my favorite series of 3D fighters, so I'll usually come up here to play a few rounds of Tekken, but it also has these cool machines right here. These are the Nessica Cross Live machines, and as you can see, they're just machines online loaded with a whole bunch of games that you can choose from. So it's 100 yen for a play, and you get a ton of 2D fighters and shoot 'em ups, basically exactly the kinds of games that I like. So if we scroll through, you've got stuff like Street Fighter 03, Third Strike, Vampire Savior, Ikaruga, Psychic Force, King of Fighters, Raiden, Aquapazza, Persona 4, you know, you get it. There's a whole lot of games loaded on these things. So usually if I do come to this particular arcade, I'll come up to this floor, play some Tekken, sit down and play some Street Fighter or shoot 'em up or something. Just kill a little time, sip some coffee while I move on to my next part of the day. So let's hang out, play a few games, and then we will move on to the next arcade. Check this out.
I said chocolate chip. Say it. Say it. Saga, saga!
Okay, so played a few games, lost pretty miserably on a few of them, but still had some fun. So anyway, yeah, GIGO, SEGA Building number 1. For the most part, this building there's a lot of crane games and some like online games, trading card games, stuff I'm not really too familiar with, not very enthusiastic about, but if you come to the 6th floor, you can play a bunch of fighting games and shoot 'em ups on these cool SEGA cabinets by Taito. You can go play some Tekken or play some Gundam Extreme if you really want to. There's no shortage of Gundam Extreme cabinets on this floor. Anyway, so yeah, 6th floor, the most fun in the building for sure. But we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna move on to the next GIGO building, which actually I think we're gonna go hit up GIGO building number 4 now. So let's head that way. Okay, so directly behind me is GIGO building number 4. And this, of all of the arcades that we're looking at today, this is actually my least favorite. So on the first 3 or 4 floors, you're never gonna believe this, they have a lot of UFO catchers. So if that's your thing, go in there and try to find some prizes or whatever. Not really my thing. And then above that, there's more of those like online, like card games, like Fate and other various things like that, Wonderland Wars. Again, not really my thing. And I think there's just a smattering of rhythm games. So there's not really much to say about this particular arcade. When it was a SEGA arcade, this was the one I came to the least. And now that it's a GIGO arcade, I don't anticipate I'll be coming here much either. It's not much of interest for me. Too bad though. Got rid of the SEGA, kept the GIGO, kept all the crap inside I don't really care about. And to top it all off, the horse guy is here today. The horse guy is here playing his drums very unimpressively. It's just the worst. This arcade is cursed or something. Anyway, let's move on to something a little better. Let's go have some fun. All right, so here we are in front of GIGO building number 4. We got away from the horseman. That horror is behind us now. So GIGO number 4. Say it with me, a lot of crane games. It's only 4 floors. The first 3 floors are 100% crane games, which honestly, some of the stuff you can win in here is pretty cool. It's just like not something that I really like to go to arcades for, at least not at the moment. I don't have enough room in my apartment for all these figures and plushies and things, but up on the 4th floor, there is some very cool stuff that I like a lot. Let's get up there and check it out. Okay, so we're up here on the 4th floor. It's pretty awesome for, I don't know, maybe not so obvious reasons. Maybe not everybody's into this kind of stuff, but on this floor, there are pinball machines, there's Pong, there's foosball, there's darts, there's even some cruise and blast machines back there, which I've never seen anywhere else. So that's really cool. So let's go play some pinball, go play some of these other games, and have some fun. This is kind of like my happy place right now. Check this out.
Show 'em!
Come on.
Okay, so as you just saw, pretty damn cool up here. Pinball, foosball, darts, all that good stuff. It's, you know, a floor like this is really refreshing for me after just, you know, lots of crane games and like online trading card games that I don't really understand or have any desire to play. It's nice to be able to come up here and just have some good old-fashioned pinball, you know, to play and just sort of relax and have fun with it. One of the issues is they have a half dozen pinball machines up here. They don't all work all the time, and I assume it's kind of hard to find people that can repair pinball machines these days. But honestly, even if they had one pinball machine up here, I'd probably still be happy to take a break and come up here and play it. So yeah, GIGO Building number 4, 3 floors of crane games, and then this awesome, glorious floor with pinball, cruise and blast, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff to enjoy. So come up here, have a seat, maybe drink a beer, play some pinball, I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Let's get out of here. All right, so save the best for last. This is GIGO Building number 3, and it is 6 floors, and the first few, as we've come to establish now, are chock full of crane games, so lots of stuff, a lot of prizes you can pick up. But there's also a lot of other stuff in floors 3, 4, and 5, so there's a lot of rhythm games, actually driving games, some good Initial D, which I like a lot. Other various like online games, just stuff like that, kind of robust for an arcade. But if I had to go to one floor on this arcade, it's not just the best floor in this arcade, it's the best floor of any of these arcades, the absolute best thing about any of these GIGO places. So let's get up there, 6th floor, check it out. All right, so we made our way up to the 6th floor. Again, I said this is the best floor, not just of this arcade, but of all the arcades we've seen today. This floor is referred to as Retro G, and obviously, as you can see behind me and all around me, it's just a whole lot of good old-fashioned retro arcade games. Most of it's Sega, but plenty of other stuff as well. So let's get around, check out some of the games on this floor. Let's have some fun. Check this out. So, one thing that's pretty cool is that if you're running out of money or maybe you didn't have any to begin with, they actually have one of these little Astro City minis set up here, and it's hooked to this nice big screen here. So if you don't feel like dropping any yen on the games in here, you can actually just sit here and play this Astro City mini for free, pretty much as long as you want. There's no restrictions on that, so I'm playing some Wonder Boy. Anyway, check out the rest of this sweet gameplay footage. Hello.
SEGA 다상시로 SEGA 다상시로 SEGA 사타みんなで戦い
All right, so there you go. That's a quick look around Retro G, the 6th floor of now GIGO Building number 3. Totally awesome. So I hope you enjoyed looking around all the various now no longer SEGA but GIGO buildings here in Akihabara. Honestly, you know, they're just logos. All the SEGA logos are taken off the buildings. It's under new ownership, I guess. But there's still basically all the same stuff inside. So as you saw, there's like lots of crane games in all of them. There's rhythm games, driving games, online games. There's a lot of stuff to meet every taste. And then there's some fighting games, shoot 'em ups and stuff. And then if you come up to Retro G, I mean, there's just no limit. If you're like me, you're a child of the 90s, this is something you're gonna have a lot of fun with. So it doesn't say SEGA on the outside of the building anymore, but there's still the spirit of a SEGA arcade in here. So on your next trip to Tokyo, come on by Akihabara. You're not going to see those beautiful SEGA logos, but you're still going to be able to come into these arcades and have some fun. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.